What's up? Dr. Dell here. More AI for you. Today we have the battle that you need, but you didn't know you needed. And this is the comparison of deep research models between Gemini, Perplexity, and ChatGPT. For those of you who are not aware, deep research has been, pretty much taking the internet by storm for those of you who use generative AI. Google started it with their deep research in Gemini, and basically it's a really, really deep dive by artificial intelligence on a particular topic, and it can give you an extensive research output. Usually takes 5 to 10, if not more, minutes to do. It really thinks through it and produces usually a pretty decent high quality from all I've seen and all the tools I tested. And there's now 3 on the market. So today we're going to test the 3, and I'm going to pause in between because we're not going to wait the 10 minutes. But the question that we're going to ask, and let me make it bigger, is how has economic development practice of industrial attraction changed over the last decade? And you see I have it teed up for Google, Gemini, ChatGPT, and Perplexity. So I'm going to hit pause on the video. I'm going to run it. I'm going to track about how long it takes for each one to give you a sense, and then we'll take a look at what the output was and see who won. And we're back. So from a time perspective, let's go ahead and pop it back up. Perplexity was the fastest. So Perplexity did their deep research in 3 minutes. This is the results that they have. It looks like they scoured and looked at 69 sources, which for those of you who know Perplexity, you can click on the sources and kind of see them, pop them up. You can see them all on the side. It's a great value add feature. So that's pretty solid. Let's look at the actual report. So again, it took 3 minutes for them to do this. We kind of went through it, talk about sector targeting and prioritization, metrics and incentives, energy, AI, different things of that nature. And that's about how long it is. So you're getting about, I don't know, I would say about 2 pages worth of output, really high level, but it does give you a lot of citations that you can go over and read more if you wanted to. So not too bad, especially for 3 minutes. Next was Gemini. Gemini took 5 minutes to produce, and this is kind of what they came with a little bit longer output. Looks probably a good maybe 6 pages worth of output. It kind of talks about industrial tourism, workforce development and industrial attraction, designing for employee well-being, technology and industrial attraction, all those good things. And then it gave us some case studies, which is pretty solid. You can export it to Google Sheets and Docs. And it gave us about 39 websites for us to go through. So again, not too bad. It took about 5 minutes. And then finally, ChatGPT, and I used the O1 version, their big reasoning model. It looks like it sourced 33 sources, and it talks about changes, shifting strategies, role of workforce. So we're hearing that again, reshoring supply chain. This is pretty dense, along with pictures, a lot of in-text citations. By far the most output. This could be a 10-pager, if not a little bit more, because this is massive. And then the conclusions, and then it gives you the sources that it's cited. So a lot of different site selectors, multiple site selectors, McKinsey, and things like that. So honestly, it's very hard to tell which one I think I could classify as a winner, because it seems like each one came with each of their own strengths. So with Perplexity, you had the ability to kind of search your sidebar with a lot of different sources that you could hop over to read. So even though the output was probably marginal and the worst of them all in terms of really going in depth, it did give you a whole lot of opportunities to go over and read more about what they're talking about. So that was really solid. With Gemini gave you the feature, as it always does, to put it into Docs and into Google Sheets, so you can go and actually directly export it, which is cool. It had a solid output. I mean, it was comprehensive with a lot of bullet points for you to deep dive. And it had 39 sources, so for more you to go over. So like in terms of sources, it was less than Perplexity. And then in terms of I feel like the comprehensiveness and the depth of output and the length of that report, ChatGPT blew both of them out of the water by, I would say, in large margins. But the actual citations weren't as great. So it had about 33 citations, I believe. Actually, less than that. It's sourced 33 websites, but it cited, it looks like, about 15 of those. So it was a little bit weaker there, but the comprehensiveness of the output was probably greatest. So if I probably had to actually go based upon what it was intended to do, which is deep research, I probably go with ChatGPT o1. But there is a caveat. So I use the o1 reasoning model. You can also use it on the less reasoning models like o4. I believe now, and I believe it's available to all of you have the paid version. Before it was the bigger version, which will likely not give you as extensive an output. So some of it with GPT is going to be contingent on which model that you use. So that is a caveat. But for right now, I don't think you can really go wrong with any of them based upon what you're trying to use it for. But if you're trying to do really, really deep research, which is the name of it, right now it's probably ChatGPT's deep research that is going to give you the most bang for your buck overall. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, which ones you like more. If you've used them, give me your experience on if you use them. But until then, hopefully keep doing great economic development, making our communities better.